The banks that we communicate with are well prepared. In fact, for over 2 weeks they have been preparing for clients like you, Iraqi citizens, and me. Sudani is moving at a quick pace. All American banks and all CBI private banks are ready to make the successful transaction from the 3-0 notes to the new lower notes with the new exchange rate. Iraqi banks have also been readied. Question: do we have to pay transaction fees when we exchange at redemption centers? Marks: I was told that one of the biggest reasons to go to a redeeming bank/exchange center is that you will get access to your money right away, and also all fees are already done. This will give you the best rate as possible. Ministry of Transport announces that the completion rate of the development road project designs has increased to 63%. Quote, the Ministry of Transport announced the completion rates of the Strategic Development Road project, which is scheduled to open in 2029. The completion rates for the detailed designs phase of the railway line reached 64%, and the land route 60%, while the cumulative completion rates for the detailed designs of the project reached 63%. Al-Alaq sets date for announcing final results of general population and housing census. A trade surplus generally increases the value of a currency due to higher demand, while a trade deficit tends to weaken it because of increased supply. The relationship between import and export costs and currency value is driven by the supply and demand dynamics in international currency markets, Forex. Iraq's plans for income outside of the oil industry hopefully can eliminate any potential imbalances in imports and exports. Even, the United States is striving to balance the import and export revenues. When you hear Trump saying, "Let's make the country great again," what he's actually saying is, we should decrease imports and increase exports. And we will decrease the imports by adding tariffs to imported goods. Mr. Sami just told me when Iraq cancels the auctions and the changeover occurs to the dinar, that's actually a process of the revaluation. Frank, that is the last step in the process. The question is, when will this happen? In my strong opinion, this is based on the ending of the auction on December 31, 2024, then January 1, 2025 should be a start. Of course you know this is the Middle East, so I'm not offering you a date. You know the Iranian politicians in Iraq are doing everything to stop it. If this event wasn't real, they wouldn't be stopping it. Our economy and banks in 2025. This is an ongoing theme in Iraq. We saw similar articles right before Kuwait revalued their currency. Iraq is in a phenomenal position compared to the rest of the world. I understand why Jamie Dimon called Iraq the economic savior of the world. My bank represents the CBI. It represents my boss Sudani. We will give you hundreds of these private bank sites that will represent the CBI. They are not going to be hard to find. You will see them all over in many different areas, especially close to banks. Tomorrow the opening of the electronic passport system in American cities of Los Angeles and Detroit. What's that mean? We have some big populations of Iraqis in those communities. On the 16th they're going to allow you to get a passport electronically. There's going to be a lot of Iraqis that have Iraqi dinar just like we do. When that purchasing power comes, they're going to have purchasing power. That's why Sudani and others have been hoping they could repatriate those people, to help that money they have come back home and invest. The electronic passport system, in coordination with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, is a big deal. Is there any coincidences? I don't think so. There are no coincidences. Question: is this our week, Mark? Marks: there is an excellent chance that it is. Hopefully I will have an update by this evening. Something is going to change because they are looking at changed rates on contracts and what they will be getting paid and how. I do know for certain there have been negotiations over a new rate. So rate is about to change, or they would not have negotiated it. There are some pretty excited people in Iraq. You know how many times that makes that Sudani told the citizens that he's going to keep his solemn oath promise to give them purchasing power. You know how many times he has said that. This is the 9th time. Why would Sudani be a habitual informer to the citizens that he's going to keep his promise of giving them purchasing power through a new exchange rate by lifting the 3 zeros off their exchange rate and introduce lower notes? Why would Sudani do that so many times? Tomorrow, the opening of the electronic passport systems in the American cities of Los Angeles and Detroit. Quote, the Directorate of Civil Status, Passports and Residence would like to inform citizens regarding the campaign to open the electronic passport system outside the country to be available to Iraqis residing abroad. Why did the CBI decide to wait until the end of their fiscal year to do it? Hint. Hint. Could it be under the direction of Dr. Shabibi? They also told us the most opportune time to conduct a substantial revaluation is at the beginning of a fiscal year. Their fiscal year begins January 1st. Also, I then back up with my conversation I had with my CBI contact that told me her committee to switch out the notes still intends to go forward with the process of deleting the zeros at this same time period also. Coincidental? We can only pray that this new process to begin at the end of 2024 will bring success for Iraq. Deputy Chairman of the Parliamentary Planning Committee, MP Mohammed Karim, confirmed on Monday that amending Article 12C of the Triennial Budget Law, which was voted on by Parliament last year at the request of the Prime Minister, requires a deeper study, as it will allow for changing the schedules. A member of the committee said in a statement to Al Maluma Agency, the Prime Minister's request during his hosting in the House of Representatives to amend Article 12C of the Budget Law needs a deeper study within the Parliament, especially the Parliamentary Finance Committee, because the amendment will include significant changes in the budget schedules. He added, the article is related to the region and is summarized in forming specialized committees for the purpose of calculating the oil exported from the region, and deducting it from its share designated in the next budget. MP Mohammed al-Shabaki confirmed to Al Maluma, in a previous statement that a consulting company will audit the contracts concluded by the region to find out the cost of oil production in the Kurdistan region and whether it exceeds $16 per barrel as the regional government claims or otherwise, because this information is not clear to the federal government, the Ministry of Oil and the National Oil Marketing Company SOMO. Kurdish MP for the Kurdistan Justice Party, Soran Omar, confirmed Sunday, December 15, 2024, that the Minister of Finance of the Kurdistan Regional Government made a mistake by not separating millions and billions when sending the salary book to Baghdad. Omar said in an interview with Baghdad Today, the Kurdistan Regional Government is responsible for not sending oil and non-oil revenues to Baghdad, adding, the regional government is still not ready to deposit salaries in federal government banks. He pointed out that what Baghdad says, that the Kurdistan regional government's budget was spent according to actual expenditures, contradicts the federal court's decision. Economic expert Hevedar Shaban revealed a serious administrative error that caused the delay in dispersing salaries to employees